Did you know that male seahorses give birth to their young? Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm a marine biologist and an artist. And welcome to Nature Meets Paper, the place where we go on an adventure to discover the world of marine biology. I have a passion for the oceans and the creatures that live in them. And I want to share that passion with you through art. Today we'll be discovering the Fisher's seahorse. Are you ready? Let's dive in. The Fisher's seahorse is endemic to Hawaii. I will insert a map as a visual. This means they are only found in Hawaii. Other than Hawaii, not much is known about the habitat of the seahorse. I would typically describe the depth and habitat locations of my subject. In this case, it is unknown. Scientists don't know what the depth range is. There have been several recordings of seahorses being in the stomach contents of deepwater fish, but there is not a range that is known currently. Scientists believe that they are a mid-ocean to deep-water fish. You can find these seahorses clinging to soft corals and sea grass, but that's all I could find. Some versions of Aquaman have him riding or being pulled in a chariot by seahorses, but I don't think that would be the case with these or any other seahorse. This Fisher's seahorse is only 8 centimeters or 3 inches long. That's from head to tail. These seahorses are classified as pygmy seahorses, a variety of seahorse that is tiny. They are related to pipefish. They range in colors from yellow-brown to dark brown in the wild. Seahorses are not great swimmers. That is why they cling to plants and objects that are stationary. Their tail is not used for locomotion like other fish species. It is long and flexible to grab onto objects. Seahorses have pectoral fins as well. They are tiny and transparent, located just behind the head near the gill opening. Seahorses wave their dorsal fin in tiny waves to move in many directions. They can swim up, down, forward, back, and even hover in place in low currents. Here is a fun fact about seahorses for you. Did you know that males carry and give birth to the young? The males have a special sac near the belly that holds the eggs when fertilized. The female leaves the male to take care of the young. When they are ready, he lets the babies swim free and live their own life. The young seahorses are tiny, being about the size of a grain of sand. Luckily, there are several hundred juveniles to ensure the survival of at least a few seahorses in the wild. What do seahorses eat? I know my neighbor's horses eat grain, feed, and apples from the tree. Do you think seahorses eat these things? They are called horses after all. The seahorse has a tiny mouth. Tiny is a common word when talking about seahorses. They eat zooplankton and copepods. They are all microscopic animals. The IUCN Red List has the Fisher's seahorses listed as least concern. This study was conducted in 2016. There are no human threats to the seahorse, but little is known about the population size or trends. It is time for personal stories. I have not seen a seahorse in the wild. I was only snorkeling, and their habitat range is probably deeper than what I can swim, and I would need scuba gear to get to their level. I have seen a seahorse give birth at the Vancouver Aquarium. That was cool. I was a guest speaker and got to wander the aquarium for a bit. There was a ton of activity near the seahorse tank, and it turned out the male seahorse was giving birth. At first I didn't realize that the tiny floating things in the tank were seahorses. They are that tiny. It was over quickly as well. But let's get to this encounter that I painted. I took some artistic liberties to make this painting more entertaining. The tank is a little bit boring, and I just got done with a really intense painting from last week. The seahorses at the Maui Ocean Center are in a small tank with thick acrylic glass. The way the tank is curved, it creates a magnified look. This way, the public can see what is inside. It was several seahorses hanging onto the plants in the tank. A few were swimming near the surface of the tank, but they were a little hard to see due to their angle. I like looking at fish, especially cool looking fish. Although I think most fish look cool, that's a little biased from me. That wraps up this adventure, and I will call this painting finished. Thank you so much for going on this adventure with me. It means so much that you take time out of your busy schedules to discover something new by watching this video. I also like to thank you for being an active member of this community by leaving a likes, comments, shares, and subscribing. It all helps this channel grow. If you would like to help this channel monetarily, I have merchandise and art for sale on my website, as well as teespring.com. Links are down below. Remember, share your discoveries and adventures with a friend because it's more fun that way. I've been Brandon, and I will see you in our next adventure.